Peace. This is Jarrell with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today we're going to talk about mastering the level of frequency of red. Alright, being in the red zone. Okay, it's obvious now that during this time on the planet Earth that the world is in the red zone. We're in a level where it's like survive or control, or you're going to be controlled, or know yourself, or somebody is going to project their form of self upon you, or upon a group of people, or upon a collective. Okay, the red zone actually means survival. Like, this is what this entire world is based off of. It's based off survival. If you haven't really noticed, it's why money controls everything. It's pretty much, physically it controls everything. Doesn't control much etherically, past the physical realm. However, when you're in the physical, it's all about competition. It's all about, being the top person in your environment, whether it's you're at work, you're at school, having some type of like social interaction or whatever. These are the things that we have been here on this planet to learn. A lot of it has to do with the ego. A lot of it has to do with being who we are while learning our lessons as an illuminating soul and transmuting our darkness at the same time. All right, because that's always the goal. We go through things and we realize that the earth may be in a deep level of being controlled or being under our control, under the control of higher love, understanding, bliss, harmony, awareness, and consciousness. However, it seems to be that there's the opposite going on, only if you buy into the mainstream narrative. However, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how to get through the frequency that it is, because the red bandwidth is actually a cosmic bandwidth. Okay, it means like being you to the core, like marrow of your bones. Okay, it's literally like actually like the most raw you can get of being yourself. It's like if you've ever gotten into a state where you had to survive, and it's just like you turn into a different version of yourself. That's what the red zone is, except what I want to talk about today is bringing that level of state of being into your heart, like transmuting that level of survival into your own illuminated state of being, where you can still transition while you're still surviving here on Earth. Okay, so if you look at different like pop stars, entertainers, rappers, musicians, you'll see that a lot of times they're dressed in red. Okay, and it's not even something bad. All right, it's not like every person who's in Hollywood who dresses in red means like they're a Satanist. Okay, when you wear red, that means the root chakra. All right, that means you're in your root chakra. That means your level of state of being is on that grounded centeredness and moving through your own reality as that root core of you in your chakra. Because in each and every one of your chakras, there's a mini little version of you inside of each chakra. Okay, so when you feel like you want to wear red a lot, which is recently what I have been like on, you realize that, oh, I'm in survival mode now. Oh, I want to protect my vessel. Okay, I want to protect my well-being. I want to protect my health from whatever is going on out there. Okay, it literally means you take all that is you and then you gear it towards survival of you as your root chakra level of being. Now the beauty of this is that as high as you've upgraded, as high as your awareness to go up, as high as chakras as you have activated and aligned, you get to protect those with your core root chakra version of self, with you as embodying that red frequency. Okay, the best way I know how to explain this is when I see the core progression of the people that I know in my personal life go through these stages of evolution with their root chakra activation, okay? Take my cousin, for example, okay? I'd see this man in dream time, right? I'd see him, right? Alright, so take one person, for example, who I know in my personal life. Alright, I see this person in dream time, and then I kind of just like will keep tabs on this person's like journey, evolution from my perspective. From a objective state of me viewing through my lens of filter of reality. So I would see this person at the beginning, he'd have like red eyes, all right? So I mean, it's just like, you know, a lot of times when you see a person activated and it's like, oh, they gotta survive no matter what, all right? Or sometimes when you read a celebrity's aura, you look at their eyes and then their eyes are red, all right? I've seen that with the entertainer Drake. I've seen that with the entertainer Juicy J. I've seen that with countless other rappers, and also it's why, of course, they wear red, okay? It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It means they've kind of gone too far with it, and they've kind of lost control of themselves. However, sometimes that happens. However, there's a way to get out of it, okay? So this particular person, the first time I seen him, they had red eyes, right? And then a couple weeks later, I'd see them in the astral, and then they're wearing a red hood, like a totally like all red jumpsuit with like a red hood. I'm like, okay, all right. The next time I see them, they're completely just all light body, like they're just completely just white, blue, angelic light body, just like walking around as pure light and nothing else, right? And then after that, they're calling me and telling me that they activated and their eyes are closed and they're still seeing the reality, like literally, like their third eye is activating and they're laying in their bed right after they wake up and their eyes are still closed and they're still seeing through the veil, okay? So I mean, there's different levels of activation, okay? When you understand the third dimension for the red bandwidth and you begin to utilize this called red in your aura, you begin to be protected by all of the negative frequency that isn't you outside of you, okay? Now, this is a very, very like tricky frequency to work with because you have to understand yourself as all light first before you go ahead and implement it, all right? When you do this, that's most important, okay? Because if you don't, you can end up picking up all types of like, you know, out of phase, off key, just dissonant frequency that isn't yours, that ends up being a little bit more or less twisted and sick, and you do not want that in your aura. As long as you know how to clear your root chakra and you understand your root chakra as that core vibrant red frequency, you can use that same understanding of that frequency as red light in your aura as a shield, okay? And when you do that, that's very, very, very helpful, okay? Now when I did this, I actually had like an inner child, like an aspect of my inner child make themselves apparent to me, okay? They actually came like into my aura as like a giant version of me, okay? So it's like, it depends how far you've progressed. However, like when you start to master this red frequency, like you pretty much become like an ascended version of yourself as like the core survival version of yourself in like survival mode multidimensionally. So when I started using this red shield like around my aura, what happens was like I was able to resonate a lot better in the etheric field as well as physically, okay? That same month, that same week, I got a new job, and then etherically I was also able to walk around the etheric planes like astrally, like as a giant version of myself, like totally crystal clear, totally completely conscious and aware of everything that's going on. Like picture where you live as like an empty dimensional space, like a field that like just expands off into infinity. And then picture you as a giant and running around and being able to like like pretty much like run around like it's a football field or it's a basketball court. That's pretty much how I was, that's what I was doing when I implemented this red frequency in my field. So when you do this, you become a lot more well-rounded, a lot more centered, a lot more balanced, and a lot more like understanding within your own awareness of how to survive both etherically and physically. Okay, your inner child is upgraded, they have your best interests at heart, and their voice gets a lot clearer, so they're telling you what to do, like who to trust, what to look at that most concerns your survival as far as common sense, because you're coming from the heart now on a survival level. All right, when your heart speaks to you on what to do as far as the health of your vessel and the survival of your vessel, you cannot go wrong, especially when it's from the most pure source from within you. Okay, so peace and love. If you guys would like a session, I do sessions at quantumlight.org. I do healing, intuitive coaching, numerology readings, light code attunement art, and new t-shirt mine called Empath League. Check that out.